Hi, I'm Dr. Mark, and I'm going to help you sing and perform more like the top artists around the world. I'm a professional voice teacher, performance coach, and opera stage director. I've helped thousands of singers around the world learn the techniques and methods that got the top singers to where they are. Let's talk about what makes Ed Sheeran and One OK Rock's performance of Shape of You so awesome. Super excited about this. Haven't watched it yet. It's been sitting in my box of things that I want to do a video on, and super excited to do it today. If nothing else, just because of One OK Rock and because it's at the Yokohama Arena, and I have a special place in my heart for that part of the world, and so excited to do this. Here we go.
皆さん盛り上がれますか？今日はスペシャルですよ。いけますか？じゃあやってもらいましょう。Ed Sheeran, Shape of You. The club isn't the best place to find a lover, so the bar is where I go. Me and my friends sat at the table doing shots, drinking fast, and then we talk slow. And you come over and start up a conversation with just me, and trust me, I'll give it a chance. Now take my hand, stop, then the man on the jukebox, and there we start to dance. I'm singing.
Okay, so two things that stand out here. First is the energy that we see at the start. We're asking the audience questions. Are you excited to hear this guy? So cool to see that like level of intensity in the audience response. Super exciting. Great way to get the audience riled up, right? Awesome. Love it. Second thing that I love is you can obviously see the communication between the two of them, smile and friendly, and that makes a big difference for the audience too. So what can we learn from this? Well, with the people you're working with, have fun and engage with those people around you. Smile, be friendly, even if you want to kill them and destroy them, which I don't think that's the case here. But even if you do, on stage, remember it's for the audience and you want to show that there's warmth there, because that invites the audience into something that they will want to be a part of. Second thing I want to point out is you'll notice that he was walking and then like he grabs the mic over here and then has to like come back towards it, right? One of the reasons we see performers' hands go to that mic and then pull it towards them is because our body's really aware of where our mouth and face is relative to our hand. So if his hand wasn't there and he tried to line up with that mic, either he'd have to kind of be more careful and stare where that mic is and try to find where his mouth should be in relation to that, or he would hit it with his face, which would hurt and possibly crack some teeth. So putting your hand up there to find it if you don't have time and you're trying to move fast is a really smart way to make sure that you get your mouth right up to that mic, but in a way where you're not going to crack your teeth or bonk your nose against that microphone. So two little tricks here that we learned right here at the start. It's really, really fun just to watch the energy that these two performers bring to this ginormous arena. Love it.
Too much, grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. Well, I'm in love with the shape of you. We push and pull like a magnet do. Although my heart is falling too. Well, I'm in love with your body. And last night you were in my room, and now I bet she'd smell like you. Every day discovering something brand new. Hey, well, I'm in love with your body. Oh.
Okay, two things. One, you'll notice One OK Rock, we're seeing this, his arms are open. You'll notice it's actually palms open to the audience. He's really moving and really a lot of energy there, but that's a gesture that subconsciously makes us respond as an audience as if he's inviting us, right? And then he's encouraging the hands to go up and down. He's showing the audience exactly what they want them to do, and the audience is happy to oblige because they want to be a part of this awesome thing that's going down here. So really, really cool. Second thing that stood out to me is we have these two amazing performers who are collaborating on the song, right? And they're doing Ed's song, and the temptation of a younger performer is to feel threatened by that and to feel like it's a competition of some sort. It's not. It's just these two artists who are making awesome music, and by One OK Rock bringing Ed Sheeran in, by being a part of this, they're elevating him, but they're going with it too, right? It actually shows that they have the strength to be confident and to highlight someone else for a moment. So that kind of graciousness and collaborative spirit is really infectious to an audience on a subconscious level. It's something that really can bring an audience in. So think about it. If there's a performance that you can bring someone in and make them look amazing, that only makes you look stronger and more amazing, being the person who brought that person in to collaborate with you. Final thing, I already kind of mentioned it here, is that he is getting the audience going and doing what he wants them to do before he then moves on to the next section, so that they're able to continue doing what he's expecting them to do. They're already going, so he doesn't have to focus on it. Really, really smart, thinking ahead, getting them to do what he needs them to do. So awesome teamwork here. Love it.
Oh, I'm in love with your body. Oh, I'm in love with your body.
Do you see his gestures there? How big they are? Like how extended and full they are? Take note. That's awesome. The reason it's awesome is because it increases that performer's status on a subconscious level to the audience. He feels that confident, is that big of a gesture, and it just reads really, really well on stage. What we see a lot of times in young performers is the impulse to do something, but they shut it down. They do it kind of half-baked. It's like these little, kind of a teenager-looking gesture, right? It's kind of, shoulders down, arms down. It stays really close to the body. The reason why we see that is because they don't want to look weird. They don't want to look like they're too much or like risk looking awkward or whatever. We have a really relatively lean guy here. So the potential for that long, lanky arm to look maybe awkward is there, but does it look awkward? Not at all. It just looks confident and increases his status and his stature, which is really exciting to see and watch and makes us watch him all the more, right? It's just big. And so try that today. Try saying, how big can you make a gesture, and then watch it back in a video camera and see how big you can get away with, how big you can make it look and still have it just seem normal, natural, and confident. You're going to notice that your audience is going to thank you the bigger you play, for the most part. Unless, again, it's a sad, more subtle song and it's supposed to be kind of lower energy song, then obviously maybe that's not the time to have huge, big gestures. But in a song like this where he's trying to keep the energy up without the big, huge gestures there, it's not going to do what it needs to. And again, teamwork-wise, Ed's hands are occupied. He can't do that. He's got to be playing his guitar. So there, again, the teamwork, awesome.
So the hours and hours about the sweet and the sour and how your family's doing okay. And leaving, getting a taxi, kissing the backseat till the driver make the radio play. I'm singing like, girl, you know I want your love. Your love was innate for somebody like me. Come on now, follow my lead. I may be crazy, don't mind me. Say, boy, let's not talk too much. Grab on my waist and put that body on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. Hey, hey.
Okay, musically, Ed's singing up the octave, and we have One OK Rock singing down the octave. They're just mirroring each other. It's not harmony. It's just, I guess you could call it harmony, but really we're just mirroring the same melody line, right? Why would they do this? Well, a few reasons. One is it's probably easier for a guest performer to come sing a song and just, we know the melody line would go along. It takes a lot less rehearsal time to be able to do that. But more than that, that lower range is probably going to let his voice, meaning the voice of One OK Rock, to calm down a little bit and to have a rest moment in this lower range. And it also means he's not competing, and it sounds like we are kind of doing a kind of harmony here. So we get this variety that we wouldn't get in the original song, and it's working excellent. So cool. Other thing that I want to point out here is the mic position. So you'll see Ed's mic's pointed up, it's tilted up, and One OK Rock mic's tilted down. What do you notice? What is the impact that has on you as an audience member? What does it communicate about the performer? And you'll notice I'm not talking about which one's right or wrong in this moment, but even such a subtle, small thing does have an impact to the audience. Our eyes travel in a different pattern. Our eyes focus on different parts of the body or face and expression. and it has a different feeling to it. So what can we learn from that? Learn. Watch all these different performers and really pay attention to all the little details and see what's my emotional reaction as an audience, so that you know when you go to perform and you have a really clear idea of what emotional reaction you want from your audience, you can use every little bit of what they're seeing and hearing to your advantage.
I'm in love with your body and every day discovering something brand new. Well, I'm in love with the shape of you. Come on, be my baby, come on. 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 What's gonna be my baby? Well, I'm in love.
Okay, so other thing I want to point out here, if we're looking at lights, the lighting here is really kind of bare bones feeling, right? Just white light, not really a lot of accent light, really pretty simple. There's not a lot of fancy stuff going on, no real light change. It really looks like we're in kind of work lights is what it feels like in theater terms, which means it's the lights that they turn on when people are working on the stage and not the normal theatrical lights. Though I think we are using the normal theatrical lights. That's not what I'm implying. But what I'm saying is it's that simple and not flashy at all. Are you bored by that? Is that a problem? For me, as I'm watching, I'm not bored by it. It's not a problem here because there's so much going on musically. It's a really pretty dense song. If we're thinking about the texture of the song, there's a lot going on in the melody line and the rhythms and what's happening there. The words are really captivating. What they're doing with the entire ensemble team we're seeing here on stage, there's plenty to watch and look at and see. Would it be more exciting with lights and stuff? Possibly. But the question is not, is it better or worse, but why would they choose to do it this way? To me, what this communicates to me is more honesty, more vulnerability, more spontaneity, right? They didn't plan for this. Again, I'm not saying whether they did or not. I don't know enough about this performance and what happened in this exact moment to be able to say one or the other. But as an audience, it reads a little more spontaneous, because if everything was perfectly choreographed to it, it would obviously feel more polished and more rehearsed. There's kind of a rawness to it in this moment, which is really exciting from an audience's standpoint, especially if the rest of the performance is much more polished. Having these moments where it feels more spontaneous, less planned, can be really, really exciting and invigorating to an audience. So I think it's really cool.
Now my bed sheets smell like you, and every day discovering something brand new. Well, I'm in love with your body. Come on, be my baby, come on. Come on, be my love with your body. Come on, be my baby, come on. Come on, be my baby with your body. Come on, be my baby, come on. Come on, be my love with your body. Every day discovering something brand new. I'm in love with the shape of you.
Okay, I'm going to have to find more clips on 1OK Rock. I'm watching, I'm really intrigued now. I don't know anything about that group. I know, embarrassing. But what I'm seeing here is that I'm seeing a really versatile singer. You'll notice he jumped up and started singing the same line, and they had some really cool textures going on there, and that was really exciting. I guess what I'm so excited about is I'm interested to see if they can do this much with such a simple set and lighting and costuming, what's going on. I would be excited to see what they could do with more than that, and see what that would look like. And his voice sounds gorgeous up in that higher place, and so I'm excited to hear more about his voice. And what a really excellent group. You'll notice on my videos, I haven't done a ton on J-pop. The reason for that is because of copyright issues. Japanese companies, production companies seem to be really pretty restrictive and really on top of making sure that no one puts stuff up from them and it gets blocked and strikes and all kinds of stuff really, really fast. And so if I can't put the stuff up, it doesn't make sense to make the video. So I'm hoping this one goes through. And I also hope that I can do more of it because, again, I have a special place in my heart for Japan and for the language and its people. What's awesome here, if you watch the end of this video, you'll see Ed says, "Domo arigato, Yokohama," and he's saying thank you to Yokohama. And that's also something that's really important, is to find how to say thank you to your audience in a way that they can understand. And I'm not just talking in terms of different languages, but showing your appreciation, your love in as many ways as you can to that audience, who is really the only way you can be up on that stage is if they show up. So really, really awesome example here of making an exciting, awesome performance with really minimal things. There's a lot of bands, a lot of groups that get obsessed over the lighting and stuff like that, which is excellent. That's great. You should. The more polished and exciting the experience, the more the audience is going to enjoy it. But realize really the most important part of your performance is what you're doing, what you're communicating with your body and your voice. And they show that here. Love it. If you want a voice lesson or performance coaching or want me to work with you or your group to help you sing easier or perform at a consistently higher level, book a time with me at mrperformingartstudio.com. I look forward to working with you online.